How's it going, Chris? With Chris's comments. Side, no matter talking about common sense on common ground, no matter what the subject. Happy Sunday to all of you out there. I just wanted to throw a comment out there before we start the work week tomorrow on Monday. Just with a little bit of clearing up. Hope everybody's doing okay while you're resting up, relaxing, and getting yourself ready for tomorrow. You're paying attention to anything out there, immigration being one of them. We got people saying that there's a crisis, which it's more like concerns as to how well and how long we can maintain helping out those people that are asylum seekers. Mostly, I shouldn't call them people, I should call them kids, because that's what they are, minors. Now, the big thing about this is that everybody's saying Biden freed up the border, putting border security in charge of managing and processing the migrants, allowing drug cartels to enter, which is the most idiotic statement so far out of all of these. Biden put the HHS in charge. Border security is still doing border security. They're still border patrolling. And they're busy, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of cars that are being towed right now because they've been trashed, they've been crashed, they've been run down, chased down by Border Patrol and here in Texas, Texas State Troopers. They're all kicking ass down there. I don't understand why everybody's going, oh, it's a crisis, when we're doing nothing but nabbing them. Why they think that they're cute running traffickers across the border. They're saying all these drugs and weapons are coming in. Well, they're coming in, but they're getting caught as sure as they're again, as soon as they're getting crashed and forced off the road and all this good stuff. And of course, it would be Texas that's doing that. Texas cops, Texas Patrol, Texas State Patrol, Border Patrol, Texas Immigration, Security. We're out there fighting. So to see all the pencil pushers out there, the paper pushers that are going, oh, we're doing so much, we're doing too much, it's overwhelming. Well, that's just dumb. They really need to stop complaining and just keep doing what we pay them with our tax-paying dollars to do. Because it was during Trump's administration that had them making sure there was a fence, making sure there was a wall, making sure that there was, construction. The last thing that we saw was Border Patrol. The last thing that we saw was border security. The last thing that we saw was HHS, DPS, INS, any other kind of S. The last thing that we saw during the previous administration was our guys kicking butt at the border. Okay? The guys that are working the border right now are doing one heck of a great job. One of the Republican responders said 2,900 apprehensions in the 56-mile Rio Grande Valley border. That, as far as I could tell, that hasn't been done with the previous administration or previous administrations anywhere else for that matter. This is a good thing. And for some oddball reason, well, no, not for some oddball reason, for political power, to influence you and us for political power. They're saying it's out of control, it's chaos. I beg to differ. We got kids safe now, despite the false claims of my own Texas governor, claiming there's a bunch of rape. I think we should have border security manage everything all over, take control and manage it all. No, border security and border patrol is out there right now knocking out the cartels and the human traffickers, drug traffickers, and any other kind of traffickers right now that are trying to smuggle in this and that and this and that. HHS, however, are the ones doing the managing, the processing, the individuals, giving them COVID tests, and quarantining them in housing sections. Why in the world would we want this to stop? I have no earthly idea. But we can guess. We can guess. The big one is that Biden's making my own Texas governor look like a big fool. You know? He's been in the business here 20 damn years, 2 decades or 2 decades plus. And right when he's got the government on our side, doing the housing, letting the border patrol secure the borders, knock out everybody that's trying to traffic and smuggle stuff in. For some oddball reason, he's saying, no, we can't have that. We have to have all these immigrants. Looked after by border patrol. What? No. This whole diversion thing, Biden's diverting the border patrol. I beg to differ. As sure as there are pencil pushers complaining about all the cops that are actually stopping human traffickers and drug traffickers and weapons traffickers, as soon as all the smugglers are actually being apprehended, a couple are getting away, sure. A lot of them are running for their damn lives. There was a video, I forgot which newscast was posting it. There was a guy where one guy drove away and escaped after slowing down just a little bit while immigrants were jumping out, leaping for their lives, tucking and rolling out of the thing. So that one driver got away. Congratulations to that one driver. The migrants that jumped out of the moving vehicle, however, got caught. And that's how we're finding out about all this, how much they're paying, from what country they're coming from, and what it is that they're trying to escape. You know, that's not a bad thing. Only the blind are seeing this as a horrible thing. Only the people that aren't taking a step back and looking at the bigger picture is looking at the bad thing, is looking at this as a bad thing. You got dudes tumbling out of moving vehicles. You got border patrol or whatever pulling over a trucker that should be making a good living. Truckers make good livings, thousands a week, you know. Nothing less than $1,200 a week, and yet for some damn reason they're feeding into the border crossing, trying to smuggle in more people. They're getting pulled over, and this one particular one over here on the southeast side, where they opened up a truck, and about 20 of them hopped out, tried to run away. They're all scattered like roaches, they're scattered like puppies, like cats, just on the. Somebody left the fence open. There they go. And they all got apprehended and everything, and so did the truck driver that smuggled them in. Another big lie was Senator Langford of Oklahoma. He stood with his phone with all the families in the back going, look at all the evil that's going on over here. Look at all these people. This is cartels. No, those were families. Those were children. That was over his shoulder. That he was filming over his shoulder. And he's saying, the media doesn't want you to see this. No. The media is going to film it. The administration is going to let them. However, as we all saw the outrage when everybody was being processed in the lines and then turning back with the masks and all this other stuff, getting tested, and then having to go back into their holding cells where wooden frames were holding up sheets of plastic as a barrier, not the chain link fences that was done by Trump. Okay? Big difference in the quarantining and keeping everybody safe and organizing it. What the hell is putting them in cages gonna do? That's not gonna stop COVID. Apparently, from the from my own governor, my own Texas governor, saying that they're coming in here with COVID. Well, they may be. Some have, sure, but they're being quarantined once they're discovered, once they're tested. They're being quarantined and put over to one side, while the rest are being processed through a different avenue. So this whole bizwax that we're in danger from the quarantine, well, that's also a false statement. Even from my own Texas governor that's making this crap up. Harris was put in charge and hasn't shown up for 2 weeks. Harris was not put up in charge. It was Mayorkas that was doing it from the HHS. Harris is the vice president who has to take care of all of us concerning every single avenue, including this migration. And she's on the way. They're scheduled. She and Biden are scheduled to come down here later on. But for right now, they're doing the smart thing. They're staying to one side while letting everybody do their job, as opposed to just saying, set up a fence, set up a wall, and then saying, I healed the nation, like the previous douchebag, Oompa Loompa. We had a sound immigration policies before Biden administration. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. There's hardly any openings. There was hardly any openings like the way there is now, or gonna be, for Border Patrol agents and Border Patrol police and Border Patrol themselves. The way there's gonna be coming up. In order to maintain that stuff, there has to be more job openings. So, and that just wasn't available during during the Trump regime. The policies weren't worth a damn either. The policies was worked somewhat when all the fences and all the walls was built. The wall that collapsed a year later, by the way, that was built, and then said, well, you have to go to an embassy in Mexico in order to even be looked at over here in the U.S. By posting that, yeah, that's about all that was really done. That's one form of the policy that was committed. But that was it. That was it. There was nothing else there. People with passports, cartel members with passports, they're over here complaining about cartels. Cartels are coming in with passports and legally just waltzing in with their cargo of weapons and drugs and people. Those are the ones that are taking total advantage of the policies there, not the migrations. They're not coming in through migration. They're not mixing themselves in with the starving whatever the hells. They're coming in here. They're waltzing in here. They're driving on through like nothing's wrong. And for some odd reason, nobody wants to wake up to that. They just want to see a political figure in office and say, oh, it's messed up, or it's fine, or it's just not the way that I want it to be. And they're ignoring the simple fact that cartels are coming in here legally with papers and passports, and they've been through the vetted process. They can afford to do that while they're selling drugs, making money on the side, keeping a living, to come on in here and produce more. So as far as the sound immigration policies, no, that's just BS before Biden came into effect. Oh yeah, construction of the wall has stopped because of Biden. Good. That's good, because during the Trump administration, the 10-foot wall that was the wall that was 10 feet higher didn't stop them. In fact, Ted Cruz himself posted a video just earlier this month, this being April, earlier this month, of guys dropping kids over. They climbed the wall and they threw over a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old and told them, to live in America and take off. So that extra 10 feet above the wall didn't do diddly squat. And those are the walls that still stayed up. Those are the parts of the wall that didn't fall over a year after it was constructed in the middle of the previous administration's term. So construction of the wall has stopped because of Biden. Good. That's good, because it's a complete waste of time. It's a complete waste of time. It's a complete waste of my tax-paying dollars and our tax-paying dollars, for the record. This right here, oh my God. Everybody that has joined this particular bandwagon. And for the record, it's mostly Republicans. A couple of libs, but mostly Republicans. This is ridiculous, and something's gotta be done about this. I am so tired of hearing that stupid phrase from these guys. It's the the top of the top of the top moronic thing to say and to hear, because I'm looking at political leaders saying this. Something's got to be done. You're in charge, dude. What the heck? We're supposed to, what? Something's got to be done. Something's going to be done. Somebody's had enough and this is going to do. I remember that as far as Obama, when he went to presidency. In fact, during the 2 months while he was transitioning into the White House, there's threats of saying something's going to be done about this. People have had enough and somebody's going to do something. You'll see. You'll see. We always heard that crap. And I think only one time Obama was shot at in the White House, and I don't even think he was even in there. Somebody took a couple of shots with a machine gun, and he wasn't even in there. He hadn't even gone into the office yet. So yeah, this is ridiculous, and something's got to be done about this. Okay, anybody that says that, and this is a request from me to you guys, I'm not trying to influence, but this time I'm going to make an exception. Any and every politician that says that, do not vote for that person anymore. Why? Because that's a person that's claiming something's got to be done while not doing a thing. He's not doing anything. He's just complaining, griping, bitching, complaining, and griping some more, and complaining. Something's got to be done about this. Yeah, and it's not going to be coming from you. So, that being said, I got that off my chest. Whew. Okay. Got that off my chest. And but back to the main subject, that it's a crisis, it's out of hand, it's a disaster. No, it's not a crisis, it's a disaster. I forgot which senator said that one, which politician said that. And above all, something's got to be done. Okay, this is what's going on. All right? For the last 10 minutes of this segment, here's what's going on. Okay? There's no disaster. Border Patrol is being overworked. Yeah. They're catching a lot of people, running them down, running them off the roads, crashing their cars, and pulling out whoever is alive out of the crashes. You look them up, you'll see pictures and photos of tons and tons of migrants crammed in like sardines in vehicles. That's what we want Border Patrol, that's what we want our state troopers for. To nab these guys, to knock them down, to run them off the road if they have to chase the one truck while watching the truck dump all the passengers in them. I think there was a total of 8 out of a Ford Explorer one footage. One of those footages was a Ford Explorer from the 90s. So it's not built to be as spacious as these second millennial cars are. It was a Ford Explorer from the 90s and or late 80s, and there was like about 8 or 9 vatos, 8 or 9 Latinos jumping out of that car while the car at most was slowing down. He was at least slowing down while they tucked and rolled and jumped out of their vehicles while the immigrants were jumping out of the vehicles. That was the one that got away. The rest were all nabbed. They crashed into a tree, and you look up the footage, you'll see it. I mean, I forgot what it was. I'm doing this on my break right now, and I keep forgetting to look this stuff up to give out the actual websites that are showing it. But you guys, again, this isn't even a podcast, so you can't really blame me. This is just the comment section out there. So the Border Patrol is doing their job finally, because they sure as hell weren't doing it during the previous administration. Our state troopers are doing their job finally, because they sure as hell weren't doing their job concerning these migrants with the previous administration. INS, paperwork processing brought on by HHS, the Health and Human Services. Okay, it's perfect right now, and it's just got to keep getting better. As long as we stop following these guys that are saying this isn't working, and something has to be done about this. Okay, as long as we stop following those buffoons who can't stop looking past the political position or job title, that's on them. And it should be that way. It should be on them. The haters and the hate and all this other crap, especially for no valid reason, especially while we're watching the American system being put to use. It's got a little bit of a bumpy start, but most motors that have been thrown out of whack usually do start off bumpy when you use it accordingly, when you're using it appropriately, and when you're starting to make things work. It's going to be a bumpy start. And for anybody to think that, well, why isn't it solved? For anybody to think that is just a fool. Now, I know there's a lot of you out there who see things the way I do, common sense on common ground. You're a little like, well, you're not telling me anything that I don't know, Chris. I understand that. But this is just a reminder to let you know that you're not the only one. You're not the only one that's thinking along these lines, that's seeing things for what they are. I'm a little guy here in San Antonio in the middle of Texas. And I'm looking at the stuff that's being around. And I'm looking at all the hype that's being done out there. And I'm throwing my part into pointing out what's hype and what's fact. The fact of the matter is, those migrants, those illegals, they're now asylum seekers. They're kids. They're testifying that they're being treated well, regardless of whatever hype says. Hype is saying that those kids are drug dealers. Hype is saying that those kids are a distraction for drug dealers. Hype is saying that they're not being treated well. Hype is saying that they're being raped. Okay? That's what the hype rhetoric BS is all about. What's fact is that they're going through a lot of bumpy starts. Our administration is going through a lot of bumps along the road, but they're getting stuff done. What was once a soccer field is now a place to test and quarantine the sickly while keeping the healthy. Processing is not on the Border Patrol. Processing is on the HHS now. They're the ones that are doing the stuff that are like reading addresses written on their hats or their clothing or whatever, and getting in touch with the people that are at the address here in the States to see as to whether or not they actually are related, and then passed over for them to take care of. We're not telling our state troopers and Border Patrol to do this. This is HHS. This is the Health and Human Services in collaboration with FEMA to top it all off. FEMA, Red Cross, you name it. Those people are the ones that are doing the work. It's not the Border Patrol. It's not our state troopers. They're not doing paperwork like that. They're protecting our borders by nabbing each and every one of those silly fools that thinks they can actually smuggle in because they believe that Border Patrol and our state troopers are distracted. What's going on? They're being pushed out of the road. They're being crashed. There's photograph after photograph after photograph of those same vehicles being opened up and like 8 billion Mexicans wrapped into sardines, or not Mexican, but you know what I mean, migrants sardined in there, sardined in the vehicle. They opened up the trunk, there's 30. They take a look at the back seat, another 40. Come on. Are they being overwhelmed? Sure. One of them was testifying that they normally took care of this. They normally had this problem with traffickers about 2 to 3 a week. 2 to 3 times out of the week. And now it's moved up to 5 to 7 times out of the week. Okay, so yeah, they're being busy. but they're doing their job. You know who's not? The ones that saying that they're overwhelmed. The ones that are saying they're not doing their job. The ones that are saying they can't do their job. The ones that are just saying, again, they're not doing their job. That's an insult. That's an insult. And to top it all off, they're political leaders. All the way down to my own Texas governor. And that's what's going on. So, keep the faith. Just keep handling your business. Keep taking care of each other. And keep our fingers crossed. If we can, if anybody out there knows any donations to either the migrants, the Border Patrol, the HHS, FEMA, Red Cross, anybody and everybody that's participating down at the border, down south at the border, or even over here in San Antonio. We still have those migrants over here in our Coliseum. They're still being well taken care of. You know, the place where the kids actually testified that they're being treated well, as opposed to the cover-ups from 2014 to 2018, 4,500 cases of sexual misconduct on the immigrants. If you know a way to place the charity, post it. Please post it on this site as well, because it's not just this. It's not just this site that I'm voicing these concerns. It's an extra one, and honestly, we can't go wrong with spreading the data. You know, not this data that's designed to help. So if you know any charitable areas, please post it on here. Here in San Antonio, we've got a church, a Catholic church that's doing it. But then again, we also have FEMA and Red Cross themselves. So, you know, a couple of cans of food, a blanket that you can get rid of. And then see if there's a list, which is what I intend to do, to specify what they really, really need. So that's it right there. My time is up. Y'all stay safe. Have a good one. Please look out for anybody that might be causing trouble. Watch out for guys that are, you know, carrying guns. Y'all take it easy. This is Chris with Chris's Comments. Out.